This is the perfect crypto portfolio.
These are the top 10 altcoins for the upcoming bull run.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow.
This episode of the Bean Pod is sponsored by BitGet.
BitGet is the most user-friendly and secure crypto trading platform for both beginners and experienced traders.
BitGet is the best place to not only trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also all the small cap gems that we discuss every day.
With 24/7 customer support, leverage trading, and a wide array of other advanced features, BitGet sets itself apart from every other centralized exchange.
Through Beanstalk's official partnership with BitGet, you'll receive 15% off all trading fees when you sign up using the referral link in the description.
All views expressed by speakers on the Bean Pod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the Bean Pod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
And this is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
Today is our 200th episode celebration, and we're going to be revealing the top perfect crypto portfolio.
This is where millionaires are made. When there's the upcoming bull run, you need to be prepared. So we're going to provide you with the top 10 altcoins. Shay and I, we sat down, we had a deep look into hundreds of projects over the year, but also over the past couple of days to finalize what we believe is the perfect crypto portfolio, because things change.
Yep.
Right? Every day there's new regulations, there's different narratives. This is what we believe have the best tokenomics, the best teams, and are producing the best product at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, because this is our 200th episode celebration, we just kind of wanted to do what we think is basically what everyone wants to know. What is your top 10 altcoin list? What are your favorite altcoins? What are you holding in your portfolio? So we're just going to go no bullshit and feed you guys the top 10 altcoins in our personal opinion.
And cheers to 200.
Yeah. Cheers to a 200th episode.
Cheers, bro.
Thanks to all of our listeners as well.
If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. We have, with over 200 episodes, we have done probably close to like 10,000 hours worth of research.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So this is what allows us to stay so on top of our game, is the fact of how much research we do for every episode to try to bring you the up-to-date information. And it's unbiased, objective opinions.
Yep.
It's obviously not financial advice, but, we spend so much time doing it. We believe it's in your best interest to share our knowledge because of how much time we spent into this. So.
For sure. And I mean, if you look back on, even from the 100th episode to the 200th episode, we've had banger episodes where we called out. So since the 100th episode, we did the episode about the AI altcoins before the AI bull run. Those all went 10x, 20x, right?
Yeah.
We called out multiple small cap gems before they did 20, 30x's. We've had some banger episodes. So we've had some really interesting insights into the market.
Do not buy episodes.
Yeah.
Those, talk about Hex if you want. It's gone to absolute zero. A lot of the projects that we talked about not buying have absolutely tanked or been obliterated.
Yeah.
Our predictions episode where we called Bitcoin to go up to 32,000 when it was sitting at 15,000 and everybody's calling for 10,000.
That's it.
There's
a bit of a highlight reel going on here. So we are excited for the next 100 episodes to reach our 300th episode. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you can come along for the journey for all of our next bangers. But so let's just jump into our perfect 10 altcoins. What do you want to start with?
I hope for everybody listening to this episode that some of your projects are on this list. I apologize if they're not. Yep. But let's start with one of our favorites. We've been talking with them from the very beginning when we first started filming these episodes many years ago. It's Hedera Hashgraph and H-bar.
For sure. Any top 10 list, I think, in our opinion, so this top 10 list is going to have a mix of large caps like H-bar. It's going to have some mid caps in there. And of course, if you know Nifty and I, there's going to be some small cap gems in there. Of course, that's what we love. So yeah, look, let's just start with, probably the largest, possibly the largest cap on the list, which is Hedera Hashgraph. And some people can look from the outside and say, look, Hedera, there's nothing going on there. It's slow, it's boring. But a lot of the things that we've started to talk about with Hedera over the past year are starting to happen, right?
Yeah. So everybody's like, oh, they're centralized. Well, there's 39 governing council spots. So each one of those governing council spots receives a vote. So it's actually quite a decentralized system. But you can't just have a decentralized system and expect everybody, the operators, to all of a sudden just say, this should happen or this should happen. You need somebody who has a focus and the compliance side of things and understands it to build out the proper framework so that it can start to partner with the government.
Fed now.
And here we are. Because they are compliant, because they are doing the right things, they work with some of the largest companies in the industry with Google, Boeing, IBM, etc. One of their dApps, Drop, was being utilized by Fed Now, which gave Hedera a massive spike recently.
Yeah, for sure. And just that partnership, it's showing that the slow and steady process that Hedera is doing and forming partnerships. They have, as you mentioned, Google, IBM, Boeing. We talk about it all the time. When you're talking about, we always talk about it in this show, corporate adoption, enterprise adoption, government adoption. Well, they're only going to pick the specific projects that are doing it in the right way. You can't rush that, right?
Yeah.
And Hedera, by keeping it centralized at the start and moving more decentralized as they go, is obviously, the proof is in the pudding, making themselves more attractive to these large institutions, corporations, enterprises. And the Fed Now kind of integration or connection there is just kind of one of the first steps I see of the Hedera ecosystem. We've already talked about in some of our Hedera updates, like the ecosystem is small, but it's growing. We see they have a DEX now, they have a wallet now, they have a launch pad now. And as you said, all of these different partners, you're going to eventually start to see an integration probably with each of them. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, look, it's fast, cheap, secure. They just smashed through 18 billion transactions, which is unheard of. And they have one of the greatest sales teams on the planet for Web3. Like I said, when you have a Google who's using Hedera Hashgraph, all their customers underneath are going to end up using it by default.
Yep.
And before you know it, it's just spreading like wildfire.
For sure. That's why it's sitting around a $2 billion market cap. It's ranked number 30, and it starts off our perfect 10 altcoin list.
So during this altcoin list, we've tried to find, an interoperability play, a layer 1, a layer 2, a small cap gem, something in the entertainment sector, a metaverse play. So for our number 2 one, I want to say a big shout out to Hello.
Yep, for sure.
Hello has been one of our OGs. We talked about that when it was originally Doge Dash, and that thing went parabolic. We identified a play to earn game that was really a lot better than all the other ones. And I had a really good founder. And the game didn't quite work out so much. But this is a founder who doesn't give up, is super dedicated, and wanted to make something work in the crypto industry. We've talked to him. We've listened to him, his interviews. And this is a really passionate individual who wants to bring good to the crypto world. And that's what Hello is looking to do right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've pivoted from, the Doge Dash, the gaming. Now they've gone to some an industry that's closer to Paul Kaslan, the founders, where his roots are, right? That's the entertainment sector. So if you follow us on socials, you know what we're talking about. Hello is launching the show called Killer Whales, which is going to be Shark Tank, but for crypto. Now they've partnered with some of the biggest content creators in the space, you name it, even from Web3, from Web2, investing, VCs. The list of their whales or judges is very star-studded. So the show is going to have a massive reach. And if you've been following along the trailers and the tidbits that they've released, this show looks phenomenal.
It looks fucking sharp.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be one of those things where, if it does maybe get added to like a Netflix or an Amazon or whatever, if this thing goes viral, this could be a key for mass crypto adoption, because people could be like, oh, this is a fun way. And the whole thing about Hello, the name Hello, right? It's meant to be the first entry-level educational tool for people entering crypto. And if they can do that in a fun and engaging TV show, everyone loves TV shows, this could be big for not only Hello, but the entire industry.
I honestly think that this could kickstart a bull market. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if this goes onto TV and people are watching it and they can start learning about Web3 projects and the terminology and they're actually using the token, and that's the thing. Hello is solving 2 massive problems in crypto. One, there's actual utility with the token. You're going to need it to watch the episodes in real time to get the alpha before it's released.
That's key.
Because if there's a good project, you want to be early.
Right.
If you're not holding the token, you're not going to find out about that project in time.
See.
The second thing is the doxing of teams. You're going to have real team members come onto the show and articulate what makes their project so good.
Yep.
So...
And another huge thing about this whole Killer Whales thing is they partnered with CoinMarketCap, who is owned by Binance, one of the largest, if not the largest platform in the world. So the reach and the quality of the projects being fed to them is going to be top notch. So, we're talking about, this is a small cap gem still. Yeah, it's like $50 million market cap, like fully diluted.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very small market cap coin, and they are rapidly becoming the leaders in the crypto entertainment space.
Super forward thinking as well. They just bridged to Ethereum from Binance Smart Chain. That's going to bring in institutional players, massive investment. Nobody's on Binance Smart Chain anymore.
Exactly.
So again, the founder, the team, they're thinking ahead. They're doing all the right things.
100%.
When you look at how the tokens performed against Bitcoin when Bitcoin crashes, the community is so strong there. This thing just holds up like a rock.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's shift gears a little bit, and we'll go towards an AI project. Now, if you've been following us on socials, you know there's a couple of different AI projects we talk about, but the first one that I want to talk about today, and I think it definitely deserves a spot in our top 10, is BitTensor Tau. Now, this is one that, we weren't talking about this at the start of the AI bull run, quote unquote. However, it rapidly became one of our favorite AI projects for a number of reasons.
This is probably one of my largest holdings. I'm staking it. I'm setting it. I'm forgetting it. I'm letting it ride for the next 2 to 5 years. And you're seeing really good rewards through staking. It's great. But this is an AI model that allows all AI models to communicate with one another.
Right.
And these models end up learning and growing together. It's this massive decentralized framework. It operates under the same principles of Bitcoin. Like there's only X amount of tokens. You have to mine them.
Yeah.
But the rewards are so much better. This is a very special project as it comes to AI, and it almost consumes all AI.
I really like the mission statement of BitTensor because they see a problem with AI and machine learning is that eventually the access to machine learning and models will go towards the few, if not for the technology of BitTensor, because Google, Microsoft, IBM, Apple, they're all going to just control the AI machine learning because, technology just goes to the rich and powerful and the tools, they build them. No one else can afford them, right? So currently to run or build and operate a machine learning system is way out of reach for anyone. The hardware, the software, the servers, everything. You can't afford it, right? And if they have anything to do with it, they're going to keep it that way. But the BitTensor mission is to basically fully democratize and decentralize access to machine learning by building this one massive, ever-growing decentralized database for AI learning. So everyone can have access to it without needing to fork out the capital to build it.
Unbiased and transparent. When you have OpenAI, right, and ChatGPT, the centralized company controlling, what sort of bias this technology has. It's not transparent. It's not actually open, as Elon Musk has alluded to.
Yep.
This is, I view this as a platform that large corporations are going to have to use because they don't have the computing power necessary to continue to keep up with the new models that are going to be coming out. The amount of computing power necessary to run these models is insane.
Yep.
So you need to harness the power of everybody to make it work.
Yeah, as you said, it's a continuous machine learning library. And once it, kind of gets past that tipping point where it just becomes so massive, individuals are going to be using it, small companies are going to be using it, and large corporations will be like, well, we have to use this.
They won't be able to keep up.
Exactly, because it'll just become a monster, right? Yep. So I think if you're into AI projects, if you want to combine the mission of crypto, which is decentralization for the people, and the mission of AI, which is, all the pros that artificial intelligence and machine learning can give us, BitTensor is the perfect middle ground, which keeps the decentralization and democratization of this brand new technology intact. And for some reason, I still think people are sleeping on it. Yeah. I know, yes, it has, what's the market cap? It's maybe 1 billion fully diluted, 150 million because it is a brand new-ish project. But we're, as Josh said, we're staking our tokens. We see a long-term vision here. You don't see a lot of people on Twitter talking about it because it's because it's one of those community-driven, decentralized. But
yeah, nobody's paying them to be
exactly. That was the point I was getting to. No one is a paid shiller.
It's not like a Tor network where the fucking absolute trash project, but everybody on Twitter is talking about it because they're all paid by a Tor to be doing that.
For sure. No, BitTensor's not paying really anyone to do it because they don't have that. That's not how the company's set up.
Yeah.
So we talk about it because we like it.
Yeah.
No one else is being paid to shill it, so there just aren't a lot of shillers. But that's why we like it, because the opportunity for us is still, the risk reward for BitTensor Tau is still massive.
And it's only available on certain exchanges. One is Mexi. The other one is BitGet.
Yep.
So referral link. In the
Yeah,
description.
that's true. That is actually, honestly, one of the reasons we chose to partner with BitGet. Well, one of the many reasons is they always seem to have the small cap or mid cap gems that we like to trade.
They have everything.
They're always on BitGet.
It's crazy.
And when we started getting into BitTensor, we're like, okay, the only two places to get BitGet are Mexi and BitGet. Well, I don't like Mexi.
I hate Mexi.
So we're like, all right, BitGet. And we're like, oh, okay, well, we started using BitGet, and we're like, it's actually really sick platform. So
Tao led pretty much to the discovery of BitGet.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing about BitTensor, which is interesting, and we shared this in our Discord, is in crypto, when something's really early stage and hard to do, that means you should take the time to do it. So with BitTensor, because it's a super early stage project, the staking, like the user interface it's terrible.
You need like some Polkadot JavaScript wallet.
So like the BitTensor wallet is like, it's not like a MetaMask. It's just basically like a line of code. And then you have to, we shared the how-to YouTubes in our Discord. If you can see them, I can't remember the creator who made them, but it's a bit complicated to end up staking your BitTensor, but the APYs are large because it's early days, right? So we always say if it's worth like 5 extra steps, it's worth it, because once those steps get eliminated with someone building a platform, then everyone's going to do it and you're early.
Yeah. And that's like everything in life. Anything that requires a little bit more effort, whether that's going to the gym in the morning, stuff like that, going to bed a bit earlier, all those things actually matter, and they add up and make your life a lot better.
For sure. All right. What project should we talk about for our number 4 slots?
Should we just stay, because we covered one layer 1, one layer 2, one metaverse. Maybe we just stick in the AI sector, because we have 2 for AI.
For sure.
And that's Oraichain.
Yep. This
is the only AI layer 1 for Web3 and Web2.
Mm-hmm.
So they're launching this product called AI Proof. And it can be utilized by not only Web3 projects, but Web2 projects. And this AI Proof is going to be an audit scan. And it's going to, so let's say you're running an AI company, you're Google, you're running Bard. What AI Proof will do is it will verify that the smart contract, the AI model, the language model, isn't harmful to people. So it broadcasts a trustworthy proof.
Yep.
And in this scenario, the Web 2 company or the Web 3 company has to pay to utilize this service and put a stamp on their language model saying like, look, this is safe to use. So this is a small cap gem that can actually generate a shit ton of revenue very soon.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we actually just recently interviewed the head of ecosystem for Oraichain, and he got us super hyped about what's happening in Orai over the next year. And we've talked about this a lot on our socials. Oraichain not only being a native layer 1, but with the AI proofs. If you've been following AI at all, you can start to see that AI regulation is going to become a massive issue, whether it's this year or in the next election. AI regulation, Elon Musk has talked about it. The godfather of AI from Google, he's talked about it. It needs to be regulated. And through AI proofs and potential connections with government, Oraichain is positioning themselves to become a leader in AI regulation, not only in Web 2, but in Web 3. And it was an interesting point that you made in the interview. Oraichain is not just a crypto. It's not just an altcoin. This is just it's a tech company, which happens to have a coin and work in Web 3, right?
Yeah. So when you go on, you go into Google and look up certain stocks and you're like, I can't believe this company has a $2 billion market cap. It doesn't do anything. This is a tech company that operates in the Web3 space that has a tiny market cap of like 20 million or something like that.
Yeah, it's still tiny.
Something super tiny.
And what Tyree was saying about their ecosystem was also interesting because, again, this is a native AI layer 1 ecosystem on blockchain. And so the dApps that are building on Oraichain are using AI. So he talked about an AI-based dating app. He talked about AI Write, which is basically aggregating all of your popular AI software, such as all the ones that are making AI-based movies, AI-based songs, AI-based images, stable diffusion, all these things. It's putting all of that software into one on the blockchain with AI, and it's built on Oraichain.
Yeah, it's nuts. There's so much coming down the pipeline, and it wasn't until we had a chance to interview their head of ecosystem that you got to see, holy shit, there's things that are happening behind the scenes, and when they hit, this is going to be monumental.
For sure.
This is one of the first RVFs on Phantom and Avalanche, integrations with Ocean and Syscoin. They're closely working with Tron. They're with Google for startups. There's so much happening at this organization. Yeah. It cannot be underestimated how much of a sleeping giant this is for the Web3 industry, but also as it pertains to AI.
They also just made great updates to their tokenomics, which was the number one thing that people used to say against Orai was the tokenomics were shitty. They changed up a bunch of allocated tokens, went from the team and the tech, or the team and the developers to the DAO.
Yeah.
So I think the fully diluted market cap still is like below 50 million right now.
Yeah.
40 million.
With most tokens like in circulation.
Yeah. Small cap gem.
No more vesting.
Small cap gem.
Absolute small cap gem.
All right. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for number 5, you know what? Let's just go to the name that a lot of people
everybody's waiting for.
Yeah. Like if you've been following us on socials, we've been talking about this project a lot lately.
And we fucking identified this thing at $800,000 market cap.
Or less. Like
Or
it
less.
was
I think it was 400,000.
way sub 1 million market cap. It did a 30x to a $30 million market cap. You know what? It's BitRock. Like if we're going to take a layer 2 into our top 10, we're not going to go with a VC backed coin like Matic or Arbitrum or Optimism, which have 90% for Arbitrum and Optimism, 90% of tokens to be dumped on retail investors. We don't want Polygon Matic with a $9 billion market cap with all these early investors. We want an early layer 2 with newer technology, which was stealth launched, and we've been in from the start.
We're putting our names on it. You know, if this thing goes to zero, I don't give a fuck. It's like we've done our research. The team has delivered. The team has put in so much work. I've never been in a group before where people ask questions in the Telegram and the mods, they answer every single question, no matter what time of day it is. Yep. It's like, holy fuck. Like here's the thing. Arbitrum, seed round sale individuals, early investors received the price at a price of 0.005 cents.
That's crazy. It's like $1 now.
Things trading at $1. So these VCs have made millions of dollars.
And you shared that earlier today, and I was taking a good look at that, and I was like, all right, it was a $50 million seed round.
Yeah.
At 0.005.
Yeah.
So that means one company probably put in 5 mil.
Yeah.
5 mil at 0.005.
Yeah.
What is that now? Is that $1?
500 mil or something like that.
Jesus.
They're making so much money off this thing. And the vesting schedule goes out for like the next 10 years or something.
Yeah.
With BitRock, all the tokens are in circulation. They have block times of 2 seconds, faster than Arbitrum because this is a steady 2 seconds. Arbitrum has showed 14 seconds at times. They also have 1.6, but it's not consistent. Their transactions per second on BitRock is 12,000 verified. They are working with the Pepe listing team, the marketing team.
Yep.
They have a buy-sell tax that consistently feeds the wallet for marketing. So they have a ton of marketing. They're in the first month, they've already been integrated with Dex Tools, which was the fastest integration to date on Dex Tools. They don't just list anybody.
Yeah.
They were audited by Assure DeFi, who works with the US government.
Yep.
They have auditing of the blockchain.
Man, they just keep delivering.
Security. You know, they're launching their multi-chain DEX.
They just launched RockSwap, which is the first official project on BitRock. This is their DEX, the official DEX, RockSwap. There's going to be tons of projects down the pipeline for BitRock. And we're still talking about a company with a market cap of, at time of recording, around 15 million.
Yeah. And they also have another project they're going to be launching, which allows people to launch their own projects. But because the devs have built it out, it's going to be like really easy to seamlessly launch a project. And the coding will ensure that there's no scams or rug pulls possible on anything that launches on this product.
Right. Very interesting.
Super interesting.
We love this. And also, we should mention, as we said, we've been in this early. We're not trading this token. We have the tokens and we're staking.
Literally just staking.
For 60% APY on Ethereum. So BitRock, launched initially on Ethereum. Now you can go over to their mainnet. Eventually they will have APY on the mainnet, and I think it will be even larger.
Yeah. Mainnet's fast too. Cheap.
Super quick, man. I love using it.
Cheap fees. Boom. You pay nothing.
Boom.
Like everything about it.
Yeah.
The fact that all the tokens are in circulation, the team's delivering, mainnet integrations to Bitmart, Dex Tools. Yep. They're honestly doing everything. So all the naysayers can, they can shut the fuck up.
There was a lot of people giving us grief about, you know what? Josh and I, we call out some coins that are small cap gems, micro cap gems like BitRock. Sometimes we talk about mid caps. Sometimes we talk about large caps. There's always naysayers that are like, oh, this is a scam. This is a scam. And you know what? Sometimes crypto is a scam.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of scams floating around. But with BitRock, this team has just delivered. So yes, I know the team is undoxed, but
I don't care.
As you have pointed out many times, how many projects that are fully doxed or even publicly traded companies rug pull? It happens just because the team is, you know, the person is, doesn't mean they're not going to scam you.
I was looking at Proterra, that stock backed by the government, had a ton of grants given to them. They had tailwinds from electric vehicle sales, all these things.
Scam.
Went down to zero.
Scam.
They have banks out there that are going to zero with their stocks.
Yep.
You have Richard Hart, who is, you know, a docs dev for Hex, gone to zero.
Terra Luna, boom, zero. FTX, zero.
So you know what? If the team's not docs, I don't care. Just keep delivering.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
So that's one of the things I like to look for. And
all right, so that rounds out the first 5 of our top 10. And because it's the 200th episode special, if you've been around since the 100th episode special, you notice we had 1 beer. Now for our 200th episode special, we are having 2 beers, which means it's time for our second beer. And also that means if we make it to 1,000 episodes, we're going to have 10 beers.
Things could get,
it's going to have to be like a 5-hour episode.
things will get wild.
Yeah. It'll be like a 5-hour episode.
But I hope the people who watch our episodes can appreciate who we are as people, and I think I hope our personality comes out in these episodes
for sure. No, you know, there's a really famous podcaster called Tim Ferriss, and his first ever episode, he invited his good buddy over to his place, and they smashed like a couple bottles of wine, and it was hilarious. To like, you could just tell like minute by minute, by hour by hour. It was like a 4-hour episode, and they're pretty wasted. By the
Yeah, it's like Joe Rogan sometimes. He has a couple joints on there or something. Couple whiskeys. Yeah. So we've gone through the first 5.
All right. So now it's on to the second beer and on to the next 5. All right. So I picked that one. You can pick the next one.
All right. So let's go with another, let's go for another large cap here. Because we just went through 2 small caps back to back.
Yep.
Let's go with one that is a top interoperability altcoin out there, and that's Quant.
Yep.
Proprietary tech. The tokenomics are unbelievable. They have different narratives going for them in terms of central bank digital currencies, stuff like that. Huge partnerships. How can you not have Quant in your portfolio?
Yeah, I think if, you know, we called this the perfect crypto portfolio for the next bull run. So you have to have a mix of large caps, mid caps, and small caps. Now, Quant is sitting around maybe like a $1.2 billion market cap, around 35, 40. This is such a unique project. It's layer 0 interoperability with corporate and enterprise and institutional adoption. Now we're talking about a company, Quant, that just recently partnered with the Bank of England to make their CBDC. And we've done updates. We've talked about Quant consistently over the past 2 years that we've been running this show. And we've always talked about, the last time we did, I think it was like a HBAR Quant something update.
Attic.
And we talked about, all right, look, read the tea leaves. Quant just partnered with a company called UST to facilitate the issuance of central bank digital currencies in the money in the form of commercial stablecoins and digital securities. We said this, look at this partnership. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but this is a window into the future of what Quant is doing. They're working with countries to make CBDCs. Sure enough, a few months later, boom, official announcement, partner with the Bank of England. This is just the start for Quant. It's a layer 0. And they came through, they worked with Oracle, Amazon, whole bunch of, this is a big name enterprise company that is doing something unique. Then there's not a lot of competition for what Quant's doing.
No, there's not. And it's proprietary technology. You need to own the token to pay for the 3 lines of code that they're going to give you that gets built into your, Web 2, Web 3, whatever. And they're also partnered with the Bank of International Settlements. So international settlements, think about that. You have all these different banks coming together with their CBDCs, maybe built on different blockchains.
Yep.
This is the silver lining that is proprietary technology that nobody else has that will connect all the banks, all the CBDCs, all the blockchains, everything.
Yeah.
There's no other platform that's doing this.
The way that I like to look at Quant is think of it like an operating system for blockchains, like Windows.
Yeah.
Like there's all kinds of blockchains, which are the programs or apps on the operating system. But Quant is the layer 0, the fabric that brings them all together. And enterprises are going to be dealing with, maybe, say 5 years in the future, this enterprise is on this blockchain and this enterprise is on this blockchain. But they need a way to communicate because it's cross-chain. Quant is the layer 0 that could and should bring them all together. And then another thing that we always talk about is how good are the tokenomics?
Yeah, it's like 90 someone plus all in circulation, and it's only 10 million.
Yeah, half of what Bitcoin has.
I feel like some buying pressure when it's also the fact that this technology is available to the public and enterprises will start using this. If you have to use a token, all the tokens are in circulation. There's only 10 million. In theory, the price should do quite well.
In theory, for sure. There's a lot of things going for Quant, and as we said, we've got our layer 1, layer 2, AI. This is our layer 0.
Yeah.
Interoperability play. I think, we did that interoperability draft. I got the first pick. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, game over. I don't care about it.
I got Quant.
Yeah.
That's the end of the episode.
Yeah. I don't really care about any of the other projects.
Yeah. So look, I think that's the bull case for Quant and why I think we need it in our portfolio. All right. Moving on. Let's go with one of the tokens we've been talking about more recently. We actually interviewed the founder and CEO of this project as well. And this is Alliance Block. So Alliance Block it's kind of along similar lines as Quant, which is why I wanted to do it next, because I wouldn't say it's like an institutional, it's the same as Quant in terms of the integration, but what they're doing is trying to build a bridge between traditional finance and DeFi. And when you talk to, if you haven't, go watch our interview with Rashida Yaya.
Guy's a genius.
Like, you think we know a lot about crypto?
I know nothing.
This guy is on another planet in terms of his crypto knowledge. And when you watch that episode, it's hard not to be extremely bullish for Alliance Block, but we'll try to break it down for you right now.
This guy, okay, so this platform is the king of partnerships. It seems like they're partnering with everybody. He's such a lovable guy. Like, it just seems like he gets along with everybody. His background, we talk about founders and how they operate within their niche and within their specialty. Hello. You have Paul Caslin, who's ex-Grammy nominated director.
Yep.
He's operating entertainment. Rashida Jaja comes from a big banking background, traditional finance, quantum computing. He knows what it takes to build. He said anybody can really launch a tokenized platform, real world assets, big deal. But is it built in compliance? Everything that Alliance Block does, it's all compliant. It is all set up to withstand the economic and the regulations that's going to be coming down the pipeline.
Yep.
It is all set up for that.
For sure.
So super smart. This is the bridge.
Yeah.
This is the thing that's going to onboard the trillions of dollars that we're talking about when regulation hits. This is the way they're going to be going. This Alliance Block has the infrastructure for it.
And now keep this in mind. This is also a small cap gem, which is currently sitting at around a $50 million market cap.
Fucking blows my mind that this.
Okay. And there's two things that stood out from that interview, which I encourage you all to go watch this interview. Two things. The first thing was they just launched their Nexera, their DEX, which is a decentralized exchange where people will eventually be able to trade tokenized real world assets on.
The same way you trade Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Easy.
So we talk about the tokenization of real world assets. It was very hot in like April, I think. There's a couple of different projects, but this has now become our favorite project in that sector because tokenization of real world assets is like, all right, Josh owns 3 Picassos in theory. And if he wants to tokenize those and trade it with someone in Serbia, it's very hard to do in physical form. But if he tokenizes that and say someone in Serbia wants to trade for your tokenized Picasso, a house, tokenize that, you can swap real world assets tokenized on the blockchain through Alliance Block. And the CEO of BlackRock himself has said that tokenization of real world assets is a $1 trillion opportunity.
Yeah.
And who's facilitating that? This $50 million market cap Alliance Block.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah. And the second thing, Nexera ID. The KYC thing, that was crazy.
That was fucked. So the UI, the user interface, super sleek, super simple. It's like if you want to build out a project, it's like it'll match like who the venture capitalists are that could provide funding and whatnot. Like
it was. So Rashid was gracious enough to give us a preview of this unlaunched platform, which is Nexera ID. And personally, I come from a tech background, a startup background. I've built apps, websites myself. The interface and the ease and the sleekness of this platform was unmatched. And KYC and ID, it's kind of a black box. People don't really know how it works. And it can be very clunky if you've done it on different websites, exchanges. But Nexera ID, if that starts to get, when it starts to get implemented within all other Web3 projects, because as we see, regulation is coming, KYC is needed. This could be the key for millions of people to get KYC'd in all kinds of apps. Alliance Block is building it. So now think about all the stuff we just said. KYC, Nexera ID. Compliant. Real world assets trading on a DEX.
Trillions of dollars of traditional finance into DeFi. They have, so he mentioned like how long these partnerships takes. They have some stuff coming in with these banks, coming through. And one of the largest, I can't remember, Deloitte, was it?
No, it was some IT company.
It was one of the largest IT companies.
350,000.
One of the largest IT companies in the world coming onto Alliance Block. One thing that caught my eye, which was like incredible, is their limit order book. So let's say you want to set a limit order, you think Bitcoin's going to go to 15K, right? You're like, I'll set my limit order for $15,000 Bitcoin. That whole time that you have your limit order there, you're staking it. You're earning rewards on your limit order. That's crazy, bro.
That changes everything.
That's one of the craziest concepts. And
it's like liquid staking derivatives, but like on another level.
On a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And when people start to wake up to this, people are like, they don't understand how big this actually is.
Yeah.
Big players are going to be doing this 24/7.
Yeah.
You'd have to be an idiot. Why would you place a limit order with no returns?
Because you're an idiot.
Exactly. Like, Alliance Block is definitely on the list there.
Yeah, 100%. All right. What do you think? So that's, I don't know, that 5 or 6, something like that. That's it. That's 7 maybe.
So we'll save one for the end that hasn't even launched yet.
Oh yeah. Save the pre-launch gem for the end. That's what you have to watch.
Okay, let's get into one that received a ton of hype not long ago, and that's Render. So there's this huge issue right now, and that's the fact that GPUs are in complete shortage. GPU stocks have been going bonkers lately. People can't gobble them up fast enough. Right. Elon Musk himself has come out and said this.
Yeah.
So what Render does is they democratize GPU cloud rendering. This is very important as the metaverse starts to unfold, as artists try to get their work out there. And
even AI as well.
AI.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like an AI play as well.
It's an AI play. It's a metaverse play. It's basically building a marketplace for these services that everyone needs. Because as we said, no one can afford these insane hardware setups for generating AI, for generating metaverse technology. It's, you need a huge rig. People are skint of money these days, right? So with Render, it's a marketplace where people that have the hardware setups, you can pay them for the services.
Yeah.
And, anyone can build a marketplace, but these guys, when you talk about the team, the experience, it's on another level.
They have a massive team with insane experience. Who are some of the individuals you got in there?
So the guy who started the Brave browser, he's an advisor. He also started JavaScript as well. That guy.
Right, yeah.
You have J.J. Abrams, like a
Star Wars.
He produced Star Wars. You have a lot of
World Economic Forum people. Yeah,
there's connections big time. And one of the big things about Render and why we've been talking about Render for a while, and I have to say this is one of our better plays because as a mid cap, it ripped. And one of the reasons for that was their partnership or integration connection with Apple.
Or it comes pre-installed onto.
Yeah. So there's this thing called Octane X, which is like a smartphone version of like the killer app of Render. Now it's available free stock standard on all iPads and probably now Mac users. So this is like, it's like a photo editing, whatever, metaverse software, all that kind of stuff. They're working with Apple.
That brings millions.
Millions, yeah.
Lots of people who use Apple products.
Yeah.
Into the Render ecosystem quite easily.
It's the world's first and fastest, unbiased, correct GPU render engine on the market, a software that you can use to edit, create, and render realistic 2D images or videos based on 3D models, preloaded on Apple products, built by Render.
Yeah, wild.
Massive.
And this is not a product that launched yesterday.
Yeah.
This is around since 2009. Token sale 2017, public launch 2020.
Yeah. So I love the fact that it's an AI play and a metaverse play.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about, we always talk about narratives. Narrative. It's in two narratives. So yes, AI is hot, but metaverse will be, mark my words, metaverse will come back.
It will.
And it's like, okay, well, when metaverse come back, will the AI plays die? No. This is also a metaverse play.
Yeah. It takes both, the GPU shortage, the fact that how expensive that equipment is, and you can kind of just rent it. So if you've ever used Fiverr or Upwork, whatever, you post your job, what you want done. The guys come in, they say, I'll take this job. They render the project for you, and then you get your project, it's done, and they collect the R&D tokens.
Yep.
So it's got utility.
I love a marketplace. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
So right now, I think Render's around like a 750 mil fully diluted market cap, 75% of tokens in circulation, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
As we said, it's not a new project, so the trust is there. Honestly, go on the Render website, check the team out, check the use cases out. For us, it's kind of like a jack of all trades because it operates in multiple narratives. So I'm happy to have it in the portfolio because it's not quite a large cap yet, but I see the potential for it to become like top 30 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next project that we have on here has been one we've been alluding to lately, and their mainnet hasn't even launched yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes this so special, because they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes for an upcoming problem that people are oblivious to, and that's quantum computing.
That's right.
So this is QanPlatform, QuantX.
Yeah, QuantX. This is one we've been talking about. We didn't talk about it at all. All of a sudden, we start to see the little tea leaves, oracles, and then boom, we realize, wow, this is a project everyone needs to know about.
So this is a layer 1 hybrid blockchain. So it's public and private. It's got insane transactions per second. It's like something like 95,000, I think, for private. Hybrid, so enterprises can use it. The public can use it. This is a platform that is going to protect 99% of blockchains from this quantum computing threat that IBM has come out and said, look, we got the computer for it now. We can start hacking into these blockchains.
Yeah, so currently 99% of all blockchains can be hacked or broken by quantum computing attacks. Now, the mainstream media will tell you that quantum attacks are 10 to 15 years away. However, they're always wrong. So if you start to look at, and you brought this point up first, so I should credit you, but it's like, if you look at how fast technology moves, and with the advent of AI, what we think is going to take 10 to 15 years in terms of a technological advancement now will probably be more like 5 years.
Yeah, or 2.
You never know,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Like, who would have told you 2 years ago we'd have all the AI that we have now, right? You're like, oh, it's 10 years away.
Yeah,
it's 10 years. And
all of a sudden, ChatGPT is like, what?
Fucking here now.
Yeah.
So I think quantum attacks are probably going to become a lot faster. They're going to be coming faster than you think. So blockchains need to start looking into how to integrate the QanPlatform technology with them, and dApps need to start bridging over to QuantX. And that brings us to our next point. How easy is it for developers to bridge over for QuantX?
It's seamless. It's EVM compatible. So pretty much any Ethereum blockchain right now can bridge over to QuantX.
And every single coding language.
Every single coding language. So if you're a developer and you've been learning Solidity for the past 20 years, you don't have to go to the one blockchain that has that coding language. If you've been learning Rust or C++, now every developer can come to this platform and build on it and receive royalties anytime their code is redeployed.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. They also have cloud integration.
Yeah.
5-minute cloud integration.
Other blockchains that takes hours, if not days.
Yeah. So it's 5 minutes, integrate seamlessly. The thing about this, people talk, quantum computing, blah, 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 it's going to take 10 years. But what's happening now is the data is being harvested and they'll crack it later. So projects can have to start migrating to QuantX, QanPlatform a lot sooner rather than later to protect themselves.
Interesting.
They have a global team. They got people from all around the world.
30, 40 people. And you know what's we have a project that is it's the only quantum resistant layer 1 hybrid blockchain, easy for developers to come over, only a $60 million market cap. And is there a connection to the member of the Qatari royal family?
Yeah, it's like HBK Holdings, I think, is one of the partners here. And this is a family of $365 billion.
That's big.
There's some ties to IBM as well. So there's a lot happening here. Mainnet hasn't launched yet. They have intellectual property that's being, so it's people like, oh, well, why isn't this stuff on GitHub yet? It's because they're developing the code privately. It is going to be deployed by the end of this year.
Yep.
When Mainnet launches. And that's going to change the game forever. And here's the other thing. The National Institute of Standards and Technology says that crystals dilithium is the #1 algorithm to use when it comes to, and this is a government agency.
Yep.
When it comes to quantum computing attacks, this is what QuantX uses.
Yep.
So I don't know. You guys, you look at what Solana You know, you can only code in 1 or 2 languages.
Yeah.
The market cap that it has, the outages it has.
Yeah.
It's not resistant to quantum attacks. No. This ticks a lot of the boxes, and it has got a lot of money behind it. Intellectual property.
It's a very unique project because it's the only quantum resistant layer 1. And I'm telling you, this threat is coming faster than people think.
Yeah.
IBM has a computer that can do it. I know it took them a while to develop, but technology moves so fast. So, and as Josh said, the mainnet hasn't launched yet. Also, what was that thing? One of the community members in Beanstalk Discord, Libra scan or something?
Libra scan.
So it's like, Etherscan or BSC scan,
Yeah.
the website you use to scan all of your transactions. They're doing Libra scan.
Yeah.
So that could potentially
a
be
decentralized, because Etherscan is centralized and so is BSC scan. This is a decentralized version of those 2 platforms.
I like that. That's cool. And not a lot of people are doing that. That's cool.
Do you realize that those 2 platforms are some of the most heavily used websites in the entire planet?
Yeah, they're up there for sure because everyone in crypto uses them all
Exactly.
the time.
Yeah.
Where'd this go?
Yeah. So I don't know. They had that coming for them as well when mainnet launches. So
QuantX definitely deserves to
platform?
be on that list. Yeah, for sure.
That's like one of our top layer ones.
Yeah. All right.
Especially from a market cap perspective.
For sure. So that's the first 9. So we've gone through our large caps, our mid caps, our small caps, our AI, our layer 2, our layer 1, our layer 0, all that kind of stuff. Now for our final pick to round out our top 10 perfect portfolio for the next bull run, you have to have a gem that hasn't launched yet because there is money to be made in pre-sales in crypto if you pick the right projects for sure. And getting in early on projects that show insane promise can be great opportunities, not financial advice. However, if you've been following us, you know that we are heavy on a project that hasn't launched in the metaverse realm called Otherverse. Yeah. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
It's one that honestly we've had the privilege of experiencing what the Otherverse, how it operates. You don't just need, you think of metaverse. This is a metaverse play. This is going to change the internet forever. So when you go on to, let's say, Shopify, and you're in your little two-dimensional website, now you're going to be able to try it on in 3-dimension.
Yep.
Any website that you go onto is now going to be three-dimensional, and you're going to experience it as though you're living in it.
Yep. It's the next layer of the internet.
So imagine how many dollars worth of revenue is going to be generated for big advertisers who want to be in there. It's huge. And you don't just need a VR headset. That's just to like really make this platform really good. You can use it on iOS. You can use it on your Mac. You can use it on your TV.
Anything.
You can use it on anything.
Yeah. And you know what? People would say, Josh, that's crazy. You're crazy. But when you look at the background of the Otherverse and who's building it, first of all, this is a metaverse project that's been around for 17 years.
Yes.
Right?
In a Web 2 format.
In Web 2 format. They know what they're doing. The founder, Brian Schuster, we talked about Rashid and how he's a genius in crypto. Brian Schuster, this guy's just a straight up genius.
He invented the pop-up ad, I think.
Yeah. He's an internet pioneer. So if you're talking about someone who knows how to build, who can see the vision of where the internet is going, that's Brian. With Josh and I, we always like to look at who's the team behind projects, what's the blah, blah, blah. So this is a huge, we actually did an interview with Brian. We should have him on the show again soon. We're going to get him on again soon. Yeah. But again, they've been working on this for 17 years. Now, when you look at the current metaverse leaders, quote unquote leaders,
they're dead.
Decentraland, the Sandbox. In our opinion, these projects do not have legs because they're just not built for mass adoption. They're cartoony, they're laggy, they're slow. They're not all that.
Just selling plots of NFT land.
Yeah. But when you look at the Otherverse, first of all, I think they've already done more transaction value in their Web 2 form than all the other ones combined, like by, I don't know, 100x.
They've done more weddings than active users.
Yeah.
In Decentraland and the Sandbox.
It's a photorealistic metaverse, the Otherverse. So it's not a cartoony Lego-y platform. Decentraland is cartoony. Sandbox is Lego-y. This is real. They're going to eventually build this into being as photorealistic of a platform. You can recreate yourself in the Otherverse with clothing and watches and whatever you want and go to parties and go to bars or go to movies or attend music festivals or attend shows.
You can come onto this podcast in it.
We're going to do the podcast in the Otherverse in the future. We're talking about real life in the metaverse built by the Otherverse, and it hasn't even launched yet.
they've done 35 billion transactions worth $15 billion in US dollar revenue. If you're to transact the two.
Yep.
Which gives this UTHX token a ton of utility because everything that you do in the Otherverse, you're going to be using this token.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's it.
You know, you want to go into a different room, you want to be, you want to attend a concert, you want to, whatever you do in there, you have to use this token, and they're patent protected.
Yeah,
they have over 50 patents.
Yeah, tons of patents.
And you guys may not realize this, but when it comes to how many people you can have in a room, you know, how much data is there? The spatial awareness. You can't just have, let's say you flick the switch and there's 1 billion users on the Otherverse. You can't have 1 billion people in a room. That doesn't work.
For sure.
So they have the patent technology so that when you move your head around, you're not going to get sick, motion sickness wise. There's all these little things that a lot of these industry leaders like Facebook, et cetera, haven't thought about and don't realize the work that goes into it. And this guy's physics background and how he's like disproving fucking Einstein's theory of relativity. And it's really interesting how he disproves it.
You know what's really interesting about the Otherverse, and I think is like, okay, we just basically pitched the Otherverse in itself of why we think it's so great. But here's the best part. They are allowing any company or person to build their own version of their own metaverse using the Otherverse technology and platform, still using the Otherverse native token, right? So say the Otherverse is there, millions of people are on it, but someone comes along and wants to build a cartoony version of their platform. Well, they can do it using the Otherverse technology, but it's all within their realm, and they're still going to be using the Otherverse token as their in-game currency. So you think about the hundreds or thousands of vertical layers of the Otherverse. It's all one interconnected metaverse there's the main Otherverse, and then there's the hubs, NFL one, and then there's the Disney one, whatever. But it's all using the Otherverse token. So it's crazy. It's interoperable, and people can build their own metaverses using the Otherverse technology, which the opportunity for that is limitless.
Man, honestly, this one gets me hyped.
Yeah.
This one gets me fucking hyped. Because we've used it too.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough. Brian gave us a sneak peek trial. Josh and I created accounts, and we were running around in the Otherverse. It's real, and it's spectacular.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this for 2 years now.
Yeah.
September 26th, I think, is private beta.
Yep, coming out soon.
So people can start using this soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes on this one.
That's it. So look, that's all honesty, brutal honesty. Yes, we finished our 2 beers. This is our favorite 10 altcoins right now. If you've been with us since the start, thank you for watching. If you've been with us since the 100th episode, thank you for watching again.
Yeah, we do appreciate you guys a lot.
We're looking forward to the next 100 episodes. In our 300th episode special, we're going to have to drink 3 beers.
I don't know if I can handle 3 beers. I haven't been drinking too much lately.
But look, if there's an altcoin that we mentioned that you'd like, let us know in the comments. If there's one that you like that we didn't mention, let us know again, because we're always going to be updating and giving different updates on all the altcoins.
And again, we appreciate you guys. Look, we go through the comments on every episode, and literally, like, you go through it and it's just like filled with positivity.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We really appreciate it. We love you guys.
It's amazing. Yeah. So hey, make sure you guys tune to the next episode.
Ooh, that one's going to be a banger.
All views expressed by speakers on the BeanPod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the BeanPod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.